Welcome viewers. Myself Dipankar Rai is now going to discuss about data analysis with Python. Here I shall discuss pivot table of Panda. We know that pivot table summarizes and recognizes selected columns and rows of data in a spreadsheet or database and organizes it in a desired format. It actually turns the data to view it from different perspectives. All these movements are virtual, not actual. Pivot tables are especially useful for large set of data where manual arrangement is troublesome. With a few data processing functions, a pivot table can perform summation, averaging, percentage, range, minimum, maximum. All these functions can be system defined or user defined. So this pivot table arranges this information in a very simple and meaningful way so that we can analyze the data in most efficient way. Frequently, we confuse this pivot table with MS Excel pivot table. But pivot table is a generic term. It can be used anywhere. Now, this pivot table is having four components: columns, rows, values, and filters. Columns are horizontal values. These are unique values. Rows are vertical values. And these are also unique value. Values are the values of the cell of a matrix. Filters are restriction over the matrix for different type of display and filtering. This pivot table can be used for various purposes like averaging of a column, find the minimum maximum, find the percentage of a column. Not only that, it can perform query directly from an online analytical processing server. Now consider a data frame. Here I have defined a data frame using a dictionary. There are three columns: name, qualification, and age. The name column is named A, and the qualification column name is B, and age column name is C. So there are five records in the table. Now if you want to create a pivot table with respect to qualification and age for the names of the candidates, then we can put that qualification and age as the index field of a pivot table. To call a pivot table, first we have to use pivot table of Panda. So pd.pivot underscore table, this is the function. Then you have to define the data frame, and you want the what value you want in the matrix, that value you have to write in values field. So in this case, values is equal to A, index field is B and C, that is qualification and age, and columns are B. Here the aggregated function is sum, that is numpy sum. So this is the output table. The value of the cells are names of the candidate. In the first column, Mina, Bobby, and Nikki is having a qualification graduation, and their ages are 21, 23, and 24. And so the master fields are blank. Instead of blank, it will write name, not a number. Then, if you consider the master qualification, Peter and Jones are having master degree, so it will write only in the master column, and the graduation column will be NAN. Now, if you want to create another pivot table for name and qualification, then we have to put the name and qualification in the index field, and since the rest field is age, so it is not necessary to write. So in this case, we have to write pd.pivot table, then data frame, the index A and B. So it will create a pivot table of this format. First column is name, second column qualification, third column age. Now consider a practical example of portfolio management. First we have called the Panda, then XLRD. Then using the read Excel function of Panda, I have read the equity summary Excel file, and consider the first column, that is the 0th column, as the index field of the data frame. So this is the data frame where the field names are stock, sector name, quantity, average cost price, value at cost, current market price, and so on. If you want to see the column field directly, you can write DataFrame.columns. In this case, it will show stock name, sector name, quantity, average cost price, value at cost, current market price, valuation at current market price. Now say we have to create a pivot table for current market price with respect to sector name and stock name. So I have written index name as sector name, then stock name. So sector name is the primary key, stock name is the secondary key, and value field is current market price. As usual, I have called pivot table function of Pandas. So this is the table where the primary key is sector. Under each sector, it will display the stocks available. In this case, in agrochemical, there are two stocks, Dhanuka and UPL. Automobile field, there is only one stock, there is Tata Motors, and in bank, there is three stocks. And on the sale value of the Panda table, it will write down the current market price. This is another pivot table for current market price, investment, and valuation. So these are the values I need in the value field of the matrix. That's why I've written it on the values is equal to current market price, value at cost, valuation at current market price, and the index field is sector name and stock name. So first column will be sector name, and under each sector it will display all the stocks, and the sale value it will write current market price, valuation at current market price, and value at cost. Now consider another pivot table where I have created adjacency matrix of stock name and sector name. That's why I have written column is equal to stock name, index is equal to sector name, and value field is value at cost. So it will create a two-dimensional matrix where it will write nan for every non-available values, and on the value, if there is some investment, it will write that value and that field. So in this case, in Axis Bank, the bank, so it has an investment of 85,000, so it will display 85,000. In Dhanuka Agri company, that investment is 76,000, so it will write 76,000. And rest blank field will be nan, not a number. Now consider another pivot table where I have sum up all the investment sector wise. That's why I have written sector name in the index field and value at cost on the value field. And aggregate function is sum. So it will sum up all the stocks under each sector. In this particular case, it will show that agrochemical chemicals, it is having 1,88,000 investment. In automobile, the investment is 2,08,089 rupees 99 paisa. And in bank, it is having investment 4,80,998 and 60 paisa, and so on. So this is a very good summation table with respect to sector name. Now this example is showing total valuation of the stock sector wise and stock wise. That's why I've written sector name and stock name in the index field and valuation at current market price as a value field. So it will show the current valuation of the each stock under each sector for that particular person. Now consider this example where I have counted number of stocks under each sector. That's why I have written aggregate function as count and value field as value at cost. So what will happen? It will count the number of stock under each sector. In this particular case, in agrochemical there is two stocks, so it will write 2. In automobile there is only one stock, so it will write 1. In bank there is 4 stocks, so it will write 4. Next example of pivot table is number of units of stock under each sector. That's why I have written values is equal to quantity, index is equal to sector, and aggregate function sum. So each line it will write down total number of units of stock under each sector. For this example, it will show agrochemical is having 285 number of units, automobile is having 101 units of stock, in banks it is having 1119 number of stocks. Next example is to some extent interesting. Here I have shown percentage of investment in sector wise. To calculate the percentage, I have defined a function 100 into sum of stocks under each sector divided by total sum. And value fee is value at cost, that is investment, and index field is sector name. So in this case, it is showing in agrochemical the investment is 10.63%, in automobile investment is 11.73%, in bank the investment is 27.12%. Now I want to show a comparison between the pivot table and group by. We can get same time of output using pivot table and group by. So in this particular example, in pivot table I have shown valuation of investment sector wise. That's why I have written value is equal to valuation at current market price and index is sector name. So it is showing in agrochemical total valuation of stocks is 1,96,893, in automobile 3,38,582, in bank 7,70,139. So this is the output of pivot table for valuation of stocks under each sector. Now if I want to do it using group by, then I have to write DataFrame.groupby. This is the method of group by. Then I have to write the index field, that is sector name, then the valuation, that is the value. And since I want summation of all stocks under each sector, that's why I have written sum. So it is showing that agrochemical the investment is 9,96,893, 3,38,582, bank 7,70,000, 1,039.95. So values are same, output is also same, but format is to some extent different. That means we can use pivot table as well as group by for this purpose. But depending upon our requirement, we have to select one. Both has plus point and negative point, pros and cons. So accordingly, we have to use it. Though the outputs are same, since the structures are different, that's why if I compare these two structures, it will write false. So I think you have got an idea how to use pivot table and why to use pivot table. Here I have given an example of portfolio management. So you can use it in some other data analysis also. If you are interested to get the data and code, you can download it from the link given in the description box. You can write to me in the address given in the description box as well as here. Please don't forget to like the presentation and subscribe the channel. Thank you.